Or I'm Cullen Haynes. Who am I? And welcome to Live with Cullen Haynes, Ledger Legends, episode number 17. Can you believe it? We launched the Ledger Legends earlier last year, and we're already up to episode 17, which is fantastic. My next guest is broadcasting all the way across the Pacific in North America from Houston, Texas. Can you believe it? It is 7:11 p.m. at night. It is Veterans Day over there. It was Remembrance Day over here yesterday. So we will shout out anyone who's serving. And this person has over 30 years in the accounting space, and has been a CPA for over 12 years and been CEO of the Houston chapter of TXCPA, Texas CPA, for the last 8 years. So I was joking offline with Kristie Ondracek, who we're bringing on, that she's been doing this since she's been in primary school, and it shows. She's an absolute legend. So can you please make very welcome my dear friend, the one, the only, Miss Kristie Ondracek. Welcome to the show, Kristie. Great to have you on.
Well, thank you so much. I appreciate you having me on. It is 7 p.m. My friends are probably like, really, you stay up past 6 p.m.? Yes, I do. But I also get up early in the morning. But I am so honored to be here. And like you said, it is Veterans Day. So a shout out to everyone who has served for all the countries. I think we've had Remembrance Day, Veterans Day. And I think each and every day we need to thank those who serve our countries wherever that is. So thank you.
Very well said, and thank you again for your service, everyone. It's an absolute privilege. So thank you so much. And what's happening in your world, Kristie? What can you tell us? What's
Oh
happening in the
my.
world of TXCPA and Kristie Ondracek's life at the moment?
Right now, we are prepping for a 2-day conference here at TXCPA Houston. Next week, we are going to be gathering together and having 2 days of continuing education for CPAs in the Houston area, 20 hours of education, and more importantly, what
Yes.
I'm excited about is coming together of peers and giving back to the community. So the attendees probably just found out today through email that we are actually having a toy drive, a food pantry drive, and also doing something special for our soldiers and doing a thank you. So right now I'm really busy trying to bring that all together. We have a team here at the Houston chapter. I know you said CEO. I'm only CFO, COO, but we are a team of four mighty individuals who serve the community of the Houston chapter, and I'm just really excited. So that's where my world is right now, is preparing for the conference and preparing to invite all these individuals to get their education, but also give back to the community.
Absolutely. You're doing fine work, and you'll be CEO in no time, I'm sure, with all the fine work that you are doing there, Kristie. And I will shout out Mr. Michael Haynes, my
Oh,
brother from
yes.
another mother, who introduced us, I think last year or earlier this year. He's an absolute legend. He speaks at some of your events, doesn't he?
Yes, he actually came all the way from your homeland, Australia, in September, hung out with me in Houston for about a week. And what a joy. If you have not hung out with him in
No.
person, you have missed out. So he and I actually have a call coming up just to catch up. He is a dear friend, and I'm so excited of all the intros he's done because I'm all about relationships and connections. So he and I are really on the same page with that.
I love that. Shout out to you, Michael, and Mr. Haynes as well. Energetically switched at birth for sure.
Oh,
But nonetheless, in terms of this stream, this is live, everyone. It is 12:15 over here, Australian Eastern Daylight Time, and 7:15 in Houston. If you've got any burning questions for Kristie, please put them in the chat box. We're going live LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, X, and of course, cheeky TikTok down here. Make sure any burning questions, CPA, accounting or otherwise, you put in here. And thank you, Accounting Home Loans, for bringing this to you all, and listen on the podcast as well. But how would you explain your life, Kristie, if we were to just use film titles? I think you've got a good answer for us.
Oh, I do. It's either Jurassic Park or Driving Miss Daisy.
Oh,
Oh,
both incredible films, but both very different films.
it's been a wild ride. There's been a lot of twists and turns, never knowing what's going to happen. And what I planned for honestly does not happen. I have been known to say I will never be CFO. Please do not look up my title. I will Houston, Texas. Where do I live? So yeah, I mean, it's been the world of accounting. Really, if you look at Jurassic Park, think about it. They went into
Yes.
something that they thought was safe and no adventure or whatever, and what happened? I am not
You're right.
saying that the world of accounting is not safe, but there is so much diversity and so many different paths you can take. And driving Miss Stage, you just think you're just like driving along, and then life happens.
Out comes the T-Rex. No, I love that. I love that. And maybe going back to the beginning of this saga, this journey, this movie of Jurassic Park Driving Miss Daisy you've been in, what sparked your interest in, supporting CPAs and building a community of excellence? I'd love to dive deep and unpack that a little bit more.
So I love to tell this story. So I actually got my love for accounting in 5th grade. So is primary school. My mom was taking bookkeeping class and she brought home this book and I'm like, what is this? And I don't know what it was. For those who are old enough to know what green ledger paper was and transparency pages were, that literally I was like, oh, this makes sense. And it was just what I wanted to do from there. I was going to I was going to go to law school and decided that I just liked the accounting journey. Um, Bringing community together, I really look back. I'm always been building relationships with different individuals and bringing them together. So it's been a natural transition in the association world to bring people who maybe a CPA doesn't know, such as yourself, and saying, hey, you might need to meet Colin and see who he is and what he has to offer you. And so the world, like I said, the journey has been a different journey. If you talk to other CPAs and my journey, we're all going to be different. And that's what I love is because of the diversity. And I have to say that I enjoy it each and every day. And I don't know how many in the profession can do that after nearly 30 years of being in the profession.
I think I'm really endeared by what you're saying there, Kristie. And I saw a post from my dear friend Hayder Shikara online, who's a lawyer. That's our other part of our business, lawyers. And he said pretty much what you're saying. Like, if you find something that you're passionate about, you'll never work a day of your life. And it feels like, and what you're saying is that it maybe isn't work to you what you're doing.
It really isn't. It's really about bringing people together. And if you talk to CPAs, accountants, and lawyers, you guys, we're serving the public. We are helping the public. And I've always had that drive to help others. And I just get to do that daily. So, no, I don't go to work. I get to go hang out with, I'm going to do it. Hashtag CPA, hashtag coolest people around. If that
Oh,
does not start trending soon, I'm really going to cry, people. Come on.
come on, guys. Come on. And guys and girls, please. Now, obviously, to clarify, we are Australia's leading broker for accountants and lawyers in our different businesses.
Mhm.
So I've got this funny anecdote. When I used to be at the bank, Kristie, when I was at Macquarie Bank, we used to have a chart of likability and trust in professions. And, no disrespect to my legal brethren, but lawyers, bankers, and brokers were on the bottom left-hand side of the likability and trust chart. And the accountants and CBAs were like up here in the stratosphere. People trust their CPA more than they trust their spouse. And they tell them things that they probably don't tell them, no disrespect. So you're in the elite of the elite from a likability and trust standpoint. You're
Well,
unicorns, let me tell
numbers
you.
are kind of black and white and they don't lie.
No, they don't.
I don't know if you understand. Like, it is what it is, and I can't change them. I can't.
I have had the conversation with people, Cullen. I need to talk to the accountant, and if you can make sure that my partner doesn't see this because they don't. It's a ring or it's something else. It's very very interesting stuff. But look, you contribute to leadership books. You're talking at podcasts. What motivates you? Because not every CPA puts themselves out there like you do. You're quite an anomaly, I'd say, Kristie, because you're quite vivacious, enthusiastic. You do put yourself out there. You are an author. What inspires you to do that? Because you don't have to.
I don't? Oh, I thought it was in my contract. Uh, no, what motivates me is I have a story to share and I have a legacy to live up to. And my legacy is to connections, is to bring people together that haven't been brought together before. And as you were saying that, I wanted to say, well, would you call me a unicorn?
A
Because
unicorn.
I would really like that because I do think that accountants are unicorns in the universe. We're all different. We all bring magic to the world. And sometimes we just need a couple of us to bring it up to the surface and say, hey, look what we can do for you.
Very well said. That's a great soundbite. You heard it here first. The accountants as the unicorns of the universe. So please show some love. It's obviously Veterans Day, but maybe it should be a CPA and Accountants Day. Show some love to your
Well,
accountant, please.
yesterday was International Accountants Day, or
Oh,
November 10th. November 10th, so like 2 days ago for you. So
yep, there you go. I have this psychic pain between my shoulder blades that we needed to mention that. But nonetheless, for those interested in fractional CFO and COO work, what's the secret in providing that strategic leadership without being full-time? It's a good question because I've got a few of my accounting partner clients that do similar roles in Australia here at some of the big end of town BDO and whatnot. So I'd love to get your insights as to, how people can succeed in those roles.
I think it's having the drive to help the businesses go to the next level. We know that small businesses and medium-sized businesses have budget constraints. By
Yes.
combining the number side with the operation strategic side, I don't want to say you're getting a 2-for-1, but kind of you are getting a 2-for-1 type of deal. So those who are looking for a deal. But when you look at the numbers and you look at the operations and the strategy and you bring them together, you can only go forward with what's happening. You're able to look at the past and say, okay, here's what we've been doing. You look at the environment of where you are. What can we do better? What can we strategize to just, place us ourselves in a different way to grow? And that's what a fractional CFO, COO is going to be doing, is because you can't hire a full-time 2 people, but that person's going to bring in their knowledge, their expertise, their education, and help you keep moving forward. And it doesn't have to be a full-time gig, but it's one of those that they get to come in, help you, and everyone wins.
It's a win-win for everyone. It's a
It
win-win
is.
for everyone. And I'm sure there's been some surprising skills or mindset that has helped you get to where you are right now from the 10 years you finished primary school. So what is that secret sauce or surprising skill that's helped you in finance and, leadership as well?
I would say persistence, integrity, and being authentic. So here's one thing that I had someone tell me a long time ago. If you don't know the answer, just say you don't know. It's okay.
It's a simple thing, right?
But, there is a but. But
Yes.
I will find out. And then you
I love
follow
that.
through. And
I
then you
love that.
follow through with it. You don't have to know everyone. And when I talk to students and young professionals, I'm very exact on that. We are not expecting the next generation to have all the answers. We didn't have all the answers. I'm not expecting you to, but I am expecting you to try to find them, think for yourself, strategize, and work hard.
I do love that. And I do love that that you're, not I think that's important. And when you don't know the answer is call it out, but also say, I'm going to find out for you. Warren Buffett does that very well. I read a great book called Influence, and it talks about if there's mistakes in a presentation or your work, point them out at the start, even when you're talking with clients, because it builds trust to say, look,
Yeah.
I made a mistake here, here, and here, but here's the right answer. I love that. And on the other side, because you're a leader, right? And people come to you, I need help with these 2 things. Instead of solving the problem for them, I'm sure you'd agree, maybe put it back on them and say, you're an intelligent person. What would you do in this situation? Maybe come and think about 2 alternatives and come and talk to me and we can work through it. Andy Fell taught me that little trick, and I think it's a great leadership ploy as well.
Yeah, I'm always saying, like, don't bring me problems, bring me solutions.
Don't tell me the
I
disasters.
already know
Just
the
bring me
problems.
results.
Like, just solve them for me. Yeah, let's solve world peace. It's all good.
I don't want to hear excuses, but nonetheless, how does Kristie Ondracek unwind after a particularly tough day?
Um, Honestly, hanging out on my patio
Huh?
and hanging out with the 2 dogs and reading usually a fictional book just because I get enough facts
You have
and
to escape.
figures throughout
You
the
got to
day,
escape.
but it's really just being outside, being grounding myself with nature, I also start out the day the same way, starting outside, listening to the birds. I do live in Houston, so we have more warmer days than cold days, even though right now it was in the high 30s Fahrenheit this morning, so it was a little chilly. But it is taking time to just reflect and just ground myself of what's going on.
That is such it sounds like such a wonderful way to start the day, Kristie, because in your work and in CPA's lives, like, to pun, Houston, we have a problem. Like, you probably get that all the time, every day. And if you don't start your day like that, like, those problems are just going to compound and eat you alive, right? I think Jim Rohn once said, he used to start the day reading the paper and reading about wars and murders and all these things. It you want to start your day fresh and probably in the right way. So it's good that you do that.
Well, and it's funny, people will be like, "Oh, this is going on in the world." I'm like, "Oh, how is
Oh,
that
is it?
impacting me? How is that happening to me?" Because it's what you put in front of you and ingest with your intellect really impacts your mindset. So I have to make a conscious choice of what I put in front of me, what I fill my brain with, because I really want to show up as my best self to everyone.
No, very well said. Very well said. And I agree. Like, I try the most news I read is like the AFR, which is more financial news. And people crib me all the time. Cullen, you're not staying up to date with world events. And I go, well, I'm sure you'll tell me about them. Like, someone will tell me about them.
Someone
I'm
will
not going to go out of
tell
my
me
way.
what's going on or give me their impression of what's going on. And I'll be like, okay.
Correct, correct. But switching gears a bit, are there any passion projects you're working on at TXCPA Houston, or anything else that you're currently focused on that you're able to share with us?
Well, it's not technically TXCPA Houston, but I am going to, in 2026, start promoting a new podcast that will be under Kristie Ondracek by herself of Unicorns Walking Among Us. So I'm
Oh,
going to have, I don't want to say normal individuals because I don't know who's coming on because I haven't planned out the guests, but people to come on and share their stories of the unicorns in their life that got them through the uncertainty, to help them pop back up when they were down low on the ground. And so it is really a passion project. I'm hoping that it will help with the book I want to write called Unicorns Walking Among Us, My Road to Resilience, that actually gives credit to all the individuals who helped me during the down times, the hard times of life. And we all have them. I mean, I don't think I've ever met a person who's been like, oh my goodness, since the day I was born, I've had no problems at all. And there's always been those unicorns during those troubled times to help you get back up and build a greater life.
I absolutely love that, and I always mention it every now and then. If you've ever seen the movie The Matrix, Neo's in this world that's been fabricated and created for them, and it's our world, right? And it's only a passing comment, but Morpheus in the movie says they did do previous iterations of.
Uh-oh. Colin, you're muted. You were saying such wonderful words and then you went on mute. The universe did not want to hear those words. Nope, you're still muted.
I think we're back.
Okay,
I
there we
think,
go. There you go. You're back. So the
but
Matrix
I
and
was saying that in there, Morpheus says the previous iterations of the Matrix were where there were perfect paradises. Basically, the human being couldn't survive. It rejected it because the human being needs challenge. It needs adversity. It needs those low points, right? Like, how are you going to experience the tippy tippy high notes if you don't hear the crash of the cymbals, the bang of the drums, right?
yeah.
So I'm endeared by what you're saying there as well, there, Kristie. I think it's fantastic. But you've been in this world so long. What do you think is happening with AI and everything? What do you see accounting and CPA evolving over the next 10 years? What do you think?
I think it's going to change, but accounting has been around since I think 1491 was when the first entry was
Wow.
happening. Trust me, people, I don't know accounting history that well. It is literally on a sign yesterday for International Accounting Day. But we are not going anywhere. When I talk to students and young professionals, they're really scared about AI taking over their job. And I always tell them, no, now we get to really shine with the knowledge and expertise that we know. We get to take the information that we have learned in school, that we've learned elsewhere, and bring it to the client, bring it to our employer, and be really able to make more of a difference in the long-term strategic plan. Because I've been around for a few years, and a lot of times it's just journal entries. You're putting in the entries, you're doing the balance sheet, doing the income statement, and then what? Oh, you put it into a report and it goes into a desk drawer. But now we're going to make more of an impact. So with AI, it's going to be faster also. We're going to have to digest that information quicker, be able to turn it around, give our opinion. And FYI, it's an opinion based on the facts that we have at that time, and say, hey, Joe Smith, Josephine Smith, this is what we think we should do going forward. So I'm excited. I think AI is just going to help with efficiency and productivity. And as someone who loves productivity, I'm excited about that. But accounting is not going anywhere. CPAs aren't going anywhere. And in 10 years, you and I are going to come back on here and you're going to say, oh my goodness, the world of CPAs and CAs have really exploded.
I love that. It was just like in the 80s when the computer came over, right? And they said, oh my God, accountants are going to lose their jobs. There's going to be no more accountants. It's going to be taken over by computers. I think there's more accountants today than there was back then. So
and there's more work.
there's
There
more
is
work than
more
ever. So
work.
and it's just going to enhance it, right? Now, I saw someone the other day said, ChatGPT and AI is going to take over law work and everything like that. But, these big firms are embracing AI. And it's like that story of Picasso, I think, where someone asked him for a picture and he did it in 60 seconds. And he said, how much? I'm going to charge you 30,000. But she said, only took you 30 seconds to do that. But he said, no, my dear, it took me 60 years to be able to do that. So when accountants and lawyers who, are in positions like yourself, been in there many years, are putting these prompts in there, they're using AI to craft things that you wouldn't be able to do yourself. So I think it's an enhanced message, in my opinion. So I think
a learning language model. So
yes,
we are teaching it, and there are people. I'm very passionate about this. There are people who are trying to teach it the wrong things.
yes. It's a
So
good
we
point.
have to be there with the facts, and only our education, our expertise will help with that.
I'm picking up what you're putting down here, Kristie. Now, talking about mentors, obviously we stand on the shoulders of giants and those who have been here before us. Has there been any influential mentor that you'd like to shout out on the show, who's been instrumental in your life?
There's so many. I will say that I've had several, and
Yes.
since I come to Texas, there's been even more influential ones that have really touched me, including I have no idea if you even see this, but Ramsey Womack has truly been, since I became a member of TXCPA Houston, someone who, when we are together, he'll say that I have seen her in her infancy of leadership all the way to the way she is now. And he has been there through the good, the bad, the ugly. When I, needed someone, it's been him that I'm like, hey, I need something. But there's been others. So those who I don't name, you know who you are. Each and every member who have helped me during my leadership journey, they're unicorns in my life. They're going to be, the ones who are I depend on. I go back to their advice. But I will say that Ramsey's been one who's just been like, he's the straight to the truth guy too. Like, he's the one who's will be like, hey, this is really what it is. And so in the CPA world, he would be my one.
Ramsey, if you're watching, this one's for you. You're a unicorn. It seems to be a recurring theme in this episode. Maybe we should change the episode to unicorns in life.
I love it.
Very good. If you could, last couple of questions, guys. So put your questions in as well. If you could see one thing change in finance or the CPA world, what would it be? Would you say, there, Kristie?
Ooh, I think it's going to be we need to get the younger generations understanding connections and relationships and the importance
Yes,
from the get go. That you cannot wait until you need a relationship to develop that relationship.
it's a good point.
I see many young professionals who are like, hey, I need a job. Can you just get me one? I'm like, no, I don't know who you
Nope.
are. Like, I am magical, but not that magical. So getting them to understand that, getting them to what I'm also seeing with the younger professionals, because I do work with them, I mentor them, I coach them, is the anxiety and burnout is at rapid paces. And it's getting them to understand that I get it, but mistakes are okay. And in the world of finance and accounting, we're like, it has to be to the penny. It does, but it doesn't. And for the older generations, the partners and the firm owners, let's restructure some things. Let's make sure that we are understanding what the true needs are of the business. Is it 80-hour weeks or is it leaning into AI? Is it
Yes.
leaning into not doing the same thing we've always done?
Well said. Well said. Because like with the advent of technology, back in the day, if you were on leave, you couldn't be contacted, or when you were on a sick day or something like that, you didn't have this constant thing that's always connected to you. Now it is, and it's with the advent of AI, all these things are going to creep in to be making you more accessible. So to your point from earlier, it's probably even more important to look after your mental health with being so accessible
Yes.
so long.
Yeah, and that's one of the things is having those boundaries. If you feel that you cannot be off at any time, there's a problem. Um,
Quite
y-
right.
and leaders need to recognize that. It's not the employees coming to HR and saying, hey, there's a problem. Leaders, the firm leaders, the company leaders, those in C suite. I do believe that if you have high turnover, the buck really stops with you, CEO.
Very
Um,
well said. Very well said.
really need to
Um,
recognize that if people are taking more mental health days than actual vacation days.
there's something underlying going on. It's either cultural, work-wise, or no support system is in place. There's some red flags.
Yeah.
Um, I think I can't remember the verbiage, but I think it's like nudge, brick, truck. So in life, you get nudges, and you're just like a little, oh, what was that? And sometimes you should pay attention to them. Might be a niggle in your leg or something. Go and see the doctor, or a comment at work. Then you get bricks. You might get a slap. You might get someone saying, hey, I've got given you a written warning or whatever it is. And then there's the truck. It's, you're laid down in hospital and things like that. So,
Yeah.
Nudge, brick, truck. Think about it that way. Make sure when you get a small problem, you actually keep it as a small problem, because things can escalate very quickly.
Yeah. And I love that. Thank you for sharing with that. And for those who I mentor and coach, you're going to hear that more and more.
You're welcome. I haven't trademarked that, so that's open for you to use there, Kristie. Come on.
Thank you.
Before we get into bonus questions, the final question of the stream, and it's it can be quite morbid, but I think it's quite cathartic. Like, when all is said and done, Kristie, how would you like to be remembered, either professionally or personally?
Both ways is the legacy I want to leave is I brought people together that would not have been brought together before.
That's amazing.
Very passionate about that. And it's if you go to my LinkedIn, it's about connection, it's connecting people. It is when I get up in the day, when throughout the day, I'm always like, ooh, this person should connect with this person. And that's how we connect it. And
That's
it
true.
really, truly, when you put yourself out there to be connected and you are a connector, magical things happen.
It's very true. It's ABC, always be connecting. Put yourself out there. Yes, you got to do the work, but the real magic happens outside of this desk. So
Yeah.
you incredible insights. Thank you so much for coming on there, Kristie.
Oh,
Where are you
yes.
hanging out? Where can people find you? When's this podcast coming out? Give us the lowdown of what's happening.
Okay, so you can go on to LinkedIn. So Kristie Ondracek. You really can't mess up my last name. I think I am the only Kristie Ondracek out there.
Definitely you are. I double checked.
Okay, great. Um, for Facebook, it is Kristie Wells, Wells Ondracek. So I don't post a whole bunch, but people seem to post for me. So that's always wonderful to have people doing that for me and believing in me. The podcast Unicorns Walking Among Us will be in January 2026. It will be on social media. I have started a TikTok channel with it. So if you want to head over there and look at that, haven't posted a whole bunch, but more to come.
I absolutely love that. So Unicorns Walk Among Us. It's coming out next year, January 2026. Thank you so much, Kristie, for being on the show. It's
Well,
been
thank
great. We'll
you
bring
so
you back
much
for some
for
bonus
having
questions.
me.
It's been a pleasure. It's been a pleasure. You're an absolute legend, and keep on doing what you're doing, Kristie.
Thank you so much. Everyone have a great day.
Have a great day, everyone. All the best. Take care. And if you are a Ledger legend or you know someone who is and you want to be on the show, I think we're booked out until midway through last year, but nonetheless, we'd love to hear from you. We come out every Wednesday on Live with Cullen Haynes, either on the Law Live show for lawyers, Ledger Legends for those in accounting and finance, and Live with Cullen Haynes, interviewing leading people in any profession. We had Simon Cohen, the absolute GOAT of buyer's agents, on last week. You can look at that on YouTube and it's coming out on the podcast. But thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you to Accounting Home Loans, Australia's only accountant, specialized mortgage brokers, for supporting the show. And thank you for watching and re-listening. Bye for now, everyone, and make it count. Bringing you back, Kristie, some bonus questions. How would you explain your role as CFO, COO to a child to make it really easy for them?
I get to play with numbers all day and meet with great people.
Very simple.
You said a child, so I made it simple.
Look, my 2.5-year-old Benji and even my 14-month-old Lockie would understand that. Let me tell you, they'd be like,
"That's all I needed. That's all I needed."
How would your 2 rescue dogs describe you?
Too energetic at times, but relaxing at other times, which they love.
Beautiful. And this one's a Back to the Future kind of question. I saw the musical the other week. If you could go into your DeLorean, gun it to 88 and go back in time to any version of Kristie, when would you go back and see yourself? What age? Maybe don't give away what it would be. And then what would the advice be?
I think if I were to go back, it would be while I was in college and did not take advantage of the different groups and networking.
Yes.
That is the huge thing, and that's why I'm so passionate about networking and creating those relationships. The younger you can do that, the better off you are. So that's where I would go back to.
I'm probably on the same wavelength. There's probably a few people that probably would spend their uni days differently, and that's probably one thing I'd do as well. Thank you so much, Kristie. It's been amazing to talk to you today. Have a great rest of your Veterans Day, and looking forward to seeing your podcast come out as well.
Thank you so much. Can't wait to have you on it.
Oh, well, I'd love to be one of the debut episodees. So, yeah, send me the links and we'll be there. Let's do it.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Do I have to wear a unicorn horn, or what's the thing?
Oh, I didn't even think about the branding.
You should have, like, everyone has to actually have a unicorn theme, dress up, or question at one stage, I think.
Well, I think with unicorn, so I have in my book what unicorn means, the chapter in the book I wrote, and the U means unique. So everyone has to show up as the unique self, whatever that is. So if it's rock star, if it's a cook, something, whatever it is, being authentic and unique, that's what they need to show up as on the podcast with.
I love that. Very Nirvana-esque. Come as you are.
Yes.
Very good. Thanks again there, Kristie. We'll see you again. Thanks. Bye for now, everyone. All the best. Take care. Hey there, Cullen Haynes here, Australia's leading broker for lawyers on LinkedIn, and here's why I want to talk to you today about my book, my new book, The Laws of LinkedIn, 23 ways to find your tribe, build your following, and make 7 figures on LinkedIn. When I started this journey 7 years ago, when we built, myself and Andrew, my business partner, we built Legal Home Loans from the ground up, the pain point for us was we were at a standing start. No one knew who we were. We had no money, we had no contacts, and basically we had to find a way to make our voice heard, talk to our tribe, the legal community, and build trust. And the only thing we had at our disposal was LinkedIn, which was and still is free. There's over 1 billion people on LinkedIn, and I wish when I started I had this book with me to guide me, because I basically distilled my 23 top leading hacks that we use to build our business to a 7+ figure, and I really want to get it out there and share it with you. So if you're